everybody. Welcome to episode 5 of Convos with Caleb. I'm Caleb Herring. I play piano by trade. Go check out the other videos on the channel. Let me know what you think. Also follow me on social media, Caleb Herring 14, Instagram and Twitter. I'll leave the links in the description. The topic today and what I want to talk about is kind of what it has been like for me to live with Crohn's disease. And I'm pretty well versed in it, being that I've had it for the last 9 years. I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease when I was 16 years old. I'm now 25. I have Crohn's disease in my small intestine, and the ileum part of my small intestine. The ileum is the very last part of your small intestine, the very end of it. And people have Crohn's disease anywhere from their esophagus all the way down to their small intestine. It could be anywhere in the GI tract. And for those of you who don't know, Crohn's disease is when your body thinks that another part of your body, in specific your GI tract, thinks that, for just using my situation for an example, my body thought that my small intestine, the part of it that has Crohn's, my body thought that, when I first got it, that it was a diseased part of the body, when in all actuality, it was healthy. And so the body sends, the immune system to fight off what it thinks is a disease, but it's actually a healthy part of the body, therefore causing disease. And it's just a recurring cycle, and it's actually pretty crazy to think about, how your body does that. There's no cure for it, and there's no origin to it. People don't know, and doctors in specific, they don't know, they don't know how you get Crohn's disease, and they don't know how to fix it. There's just treatments that hopefully make it better. I know that treatments don't work for everybody. I'll get into a little bit of what, my regimen has been for myself, to stay healthy. But yeah, I got it 9 years ago. I had my first major symptom was joint pain. For those of you with Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, you may have had the same experience as me. But for me, I was in California when I was 16, sophomore, junior year of high school, and I couldn't walk. I was in California. I was limping around, just not knowing what was going on. I was pretty active. I was a pretty healthy kid. And just out of nowhere, it kind of just flared up, and I couldn't walk, and kind of only got worse from there. Started off as just like a minor limp, and eventually was me laying on the couch missing like 3 weeks of school because I couldn't do anything. Not only could I not walk, but I was in what had started as just joint pain, went to severe stomach cramps and headaches, and I literally felt like I was dying, and I was like 16 years old. It was not good. It was not a good situation. They didn't know what was going on at first because, like I said, my major symptom was the joint pain. So they were doing MRIs and CAT scans on all my different joints, and nothing was really coming up. And about 3 weeks later, they did a scan of my intestines, and they were able to figure out that it was Crohn's. And I was sent to the emergency room, and I was sent to, the hospital. I had to stay for my initial stay in the hospital was, I think, 2 weeks to fill me with steroids and get my body back to a functional state. And it really brought me back to life because I was in bad shape that first initial flare-up without any treatment, without any medicine for just a few weeks. I was in bad shape. I got like I said, that first treatment, and I was initially under control. Since then, I've probably had 5 or 6 similar episodes of flare-ups, and flare-ups are different for everybody. They can be triggered by different foods, or just because you can have a flare-up, you can be doing everything right and still have a flare-up. And then the symptoms of the flare-up can also be different for everybody. But for me, to give you an example of what I feel, basically I'm fatigued, massively fatigued, and then as far as pain, it basically feels like somebody's reaching into my stomach, grabbing my small intestine, squeezing as hard as they can, and lifting up, and then squeezing as hard as they can, and lifting up, and then it just does that constantly. And there's really nothing you can do besides kind of sleep it off, take your meds, take some pain medicine. It's just boom, constantly. And if you have Crohn's or UC, comment below and let me know if that's just me or if that's a common symptom for you guys as well. But that's what the main issue is. And then as far as keeping it under control, there's 3 things that I can point to that have allowed me to live a fairly fairly normal lifestyle. And like I said, it could be different for everybody. Everybody has different things that work for them. But for me, the 3 things that I have stuck faithful to, and like I said, I've only had 5 to 6 flare-ups in almost 10 years, and that's really not horrible. Like I said, a lot of people have a lot worse than I do. But the 3 things that have really worked for me are diet, medicine, and then living an active fitness lifestyle. For me, diet, and it's different for everybody, but for me, I have to stay away from corn products. I can't have corn on the cob, or basically corn-based things like corn tortillas. Another thing I can't have is peanuts, cashews, almonds. I can have like the liquefied, so I can drink almond milk. I can eat peanut butter, which is kind of weird. I don't know why that is, but yeah, I can't like snack on peanuts, cashews, almonds. They don't kill me. I'm not allergic to them, and they wouldn't really send me to the hospital, but would definitely feel that I had just ate a handful of almonds if I did so. I don't know how to really explain it. It doesn't really put me in pain. It's just a real uncomfortable feeling. So as far as diet, there's really not too many things that I can't have, which is good. I do eat pretty good. As far as I could probably be okay after eating a Big Mac. Besides the cheese, that's another thing I can't have as dairy things. I can't have cheese, milk, ranch. Cheese and ranch are really the two out of those things that kind of I do miss. I do miss ranch with my chicken wings, and I do miss cheese on my burgers and different things, pastas and everything like that. Anyways, yeah, I can have those things, and they wouldn't really send me to the hospital, but it is pretty bothersome for for what it is to eat those things. So it's best just to stay away from them for me. And then, like I said, that's number one, diet. Number two is the medicine. For me, I take 3 to 4 pills a day that are specific to Crohn's, and then every 8 weeks I go and get an IV treatment to kind of curb the symptoms. The IV medicine is Remicade, and Remicade, what it does is basically turns off your immune system, which isn't really a great thing, but for Crohn's, it's actually pretty miraculous what it does, because like I said, Crohn's is when the immune system attacks your healthy body. The Remicade kind of curbs that and shuts down the immune system to where it doesn't do that. So that's like a life-saving drug right there. It's pretty awesome. And then, like I said, the 3 or 4 different oral pills that I take each day. And the third thing that I do on a daily basis is fitness. I make sure I go to the gym, and if I don't go to the gym, I try to do something at home as far as push-ups or just sit-ups or something to stay active. But yeah, that has been instrumental in transforming my body. When I was a sophomore or junior in high school and first going through it, and then even just a few years back when I had one of my other flare-ups, I could get on the scale and tell you I was probably 95, 96, 97 pounds, always less than 100 pounds. But ever since I had those changes in my diet and changes in my fitness, right now I'm steady at about 125, and it's not necessarily about how I look, which I do love. The way I look at 125 versus 95, of course, is an extraordinary difference. But most importantly, it's about how I feel, and just getting that fitness in the gym in every day really changes the way you go about your day. At least for me, it does. And I highly recommend, Crohn's or no Crohn's, that you develop some type of fitness plan, some type of diet, and kind of stick to it. Because not only does it make you feel better, makes you feel a lot better actually, but it's actually a discipline, and just to have those things on your to-do list each day and to be able to check them off, it's going to be a real rewarding feeling for you, like I said, just mentally, and then also you're going to see physical change if you stick to it consistently as well. I encourage you to do that. So those are the 3 big things, and here I am today, 25 years old. Crohn's, I've had some battles. I've definitely woke up in the middle of the night and couldn't breathe because of the amount of pain I was in. I mean, it's serious. It really is. And I wouldn't wish it upon my worst enemy. And that's real cliche to say, but I would not want anybody, I would not want anybody to have to experience, the different symptoms and the pain that I felt with Crohn's. But with that being said, it's just the hand I've been dealt. I'm not going to wake up sad each day that I have Crohn's or, down about it, because there's no cure. And, being one to complain about it, or, being one to be down about it every day because I have it, it really, wouldn't help anything. And I'll control the controllables, which I encourage you to do as well. Things that are out of your control, just, let it go. And do the things, that you can control. For me, like I said, diet, fitness, and then medicine. I control those things. I can control what I take into my body. I can control what I do at the gym. I can control the meds that I take. And those are very, very important. And I know for you, Crohn's or no Crohn's, there's things in your life, that aren't necessarily in your control. You can't really control that it's a part of your life, but there's things that you can, control that affect that thing. So I encourage you to look at what that is. Take control of the things you can control, let go of the uncontrollables, and try to be great, which is what I'm trying to do. With or without Crohn's, I believe I would have been living a productive, high result oriented lifestyle, is what I was trying to say. But with Crohn's, it's just an extra motivating factor, to have that kind of setback in my system, and no doubt about it, it is a setback. I could take a nap at any time during any part of the day. One of the symptoms of Crohn's is chronic fatigue, which if you have Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I can sleep for a full 12 hours and wake up and eat breakfast and be ready to go back to sleep, like no problem. Like no matter what time of day it is, I could take a nap. I just wanted to get out of the way. Chronic fatigue is definitely real. But I fight through that, and it's very rewarding to to get things done, to set goals and achieve them. With that being a factor in my life. So yeah, that's my experience with Crohn's. I could probably talk about it for another 2 to 3 hours, but we're gonna keep it just at a few minutes here, of course. But if you have any questions, comment below. I'll be sure to reply to your comment. Like I said, follow me on social media for my journey. If you have Crohn's or ulcerative colitis, share in the comments what your experiences have been. I definitely like connecting with others who have been through similar things. Just let me know what your experience has been with it. If you're new to it, if you're on YouTube searching because you just got a diagnosis, you're gonna be okay. You're gonna fight through it. You're gonna still be able to live a fairly normal life because you're gonna control what you can control, and you're gonna do things right and do the best you can at, like I said, living a normal life, and you'll be able to do that just fine. So yeah, like I said, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for checking this out, and I'll see you in the next one.